Greetings, everyone. Today, we begin a new project. This video will help us get organized, set up our pattern, and choose our materials for completing a pair of woolen slippers in 2 colors. We're going to take the next step in the color work realm and do a little more complicated pattern than we did in the previous project. You will need 2 colors of yarn for this project. I will be using purple and yellow, and you will need a set of 5 double-pointed knitting needles. The ones I have will be 4 millimeters thick or US size 6. All right, now we need some graph paper and a pencil, and we're going to draw the pattern. In the next video, we will be ready to cast on. Here you can see my graph paper, and you can use any type of graph paper you have at home. You don't want squares to be too large because this will be a more detailed pattern than the one we did in the previous project. So let's first begin by looking at the sample. As you can see, there's one main design and then a partial part of it above and a little part of it below. So we want to draw first this main pattern. That's what we will do first. Then the number of rows or rounds above and below will help us determine how much of it we want to show above and below. You will notice that the foot will have a seed pattern as well. This one is rather simple once you get started and used to it because you just alternate your 2 colors across each round. And along the edge, you will see that we have a line of purple and yellow and purple. This will help us have space between these 2 patterns. Separation between them, it will help us keep track, but it will also give us a nice boundary so that we can change size as needed. This slipper will be for an average women medium slipper size, maybe US shoe size 8.5 to 10 or 9 to 10, European shoe size 38 to 40. You can make it a little bigger or a little smaller by adding a few stitches left and right and adding a few rounds to the length of the foot. And I will show you where you can mark that on your pattern. Okay, let's begin. I'm going to use yellow color, and I will start right here. Let's switch this yellow to orange. I'm going to use dark yellow or orange, and I'm putting the first center yellow stitch for the main part of the pattern. Then I'm going to start above and below. Below this one, I have 3 main color or purple stitches. And then I have 3 to the right and 3 to the left. Now I'm going to start working on bottom right side. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a 3. Then here, this one is going to go a little differently. Now you want to mirror this up and down. I will pause here and the video will continue past that point. Now I mirror the bottom right petal to all 4 quadrants. Now I want to add the detail that helped me carry the yarn less across the shorter distances. So from the center, I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I put a little mark for yellow yarn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the other way. Now up in the middle, where I have this long stretch of main color, I'm going to put 1 yellow stitch there and put a little design to help the pattern be more more combined together. Okay, so now I'm going to use light blue to show you a few important areas here. Right below this bottom of my pattern, I will start going straight. So this pattern is knitted from toes up. So right below here are the toes. Okay, this is the center line of the toes, and then the center line of the heel. Okay. For the size of the pattern that I'm creating, I did not place this line correctly. So I need to move everything up by 1, 2 rows. Looking at the sample I made for measurements, so I really need to move it here. I'm going to knit from toes up. The center line of the toes is here. The center line of the heel is here. Okay, so now I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now put a horizontal line. This is where I begin. My cast on will be here, and it will be a toe cast on, which I will show you how to do very shortly. There will be 7 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. To begin. Then in the very next round, we will make 9, then 10, 11, 7, 9, 11, 13. We'll carry 13 for 1 more round. 15. Carry 15 for 1 more round. And 17. And carry 17 for 1 more round. Then we get to 19. And this will be the top of the foot for the size you will see in the video. which is shoe size European 3840 or US 8.5 to 10, or medium slipper size, medium to a smaller size, large. Okay, a few more things we're going to add here. I don't want to create too much confusion, but we want to get our pattern mirrored down for 2 petals. Okay. And we want to get it mirrored up for 2 complete petals. Complete meaning both halves of it. You will see what I mean in just a moment. So that's half of the petal, like below, but now I want a complete petal. Okay, and I want the center. And I want these anchors on the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I start the upper petals and I'm looking at my pattern, and this is where my measurement for this size took me. This is where I create the opening. This is where I create the opening for the foot to go inside the slipper. I'm going to mark that like this to help you remember. This is where the opening goes. The one last thing we need to put here is that yellow line that gives us the boundary so that we can size the slipper accordingly. That line is going to be this edge here. In every round, you're going to knit 1 yellow stitch or whatever color you're choosing for your project along the edge here. There are various ways of casting on for the toes. These slippers have a cast on that's sometimes referred to as Turkish slipper cast on. That's what we're going to practice in the next video. Right now we have the main pattern. The bottom of the slipper will really be just alternating. So you can put it like this. You're just alternating the main color and the design color on the back or the bottom of the slipper. And once we start to work, you will see that we don't really need to draw this because it will be something that you will quickly remember. So we don't need to draw the whole checkerboard foot bottom. Now, where to change the size? This is where you change the size. Okay, so let's draw here. You're going to have these same increases here. Okay, and there will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the total number of stitches in the first round will be 12. We will have 7 here and 5 here. Once we're knitting 4 rounds, we will have a total of 40 stitches. That's for this size. Now, if you need to change the size to make things smaller or larger, you're going to change it here inside this boundary. You can add 1 or 2 or 3 stitches before and after this yellow line to make it larger or smaller. Taking out this one purple stitch between the yellow and the main design will take you down to a small slipper size. But this is where you're going to add more stitches to make it larger. This video, because it's going to be focused on teaching you how to knit this style of a slipper and how to take the next step in your color work knitting, will focus on this specific size. But write in the comments if you'd like tips on how to increase or decrease the size if you're working on this project. All right, see you in the next video when we will be casting on.